Afternoon, everybody. Excuse me. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to our district-wide forum and our special announcement ceremony. First of all, I want to make sure that you are all aware that we're live streaming right now to our other two campuses. So hello to Hanford and hello to Tulare, and we're excited that if you're there and you're looking on, that you've taken time to be a part of this special announcement for us this afternoon. I'd like to start by making a couple of quick introductions. First, in addition to welcoming all of our faculty, staff, and students who took time to come by today, I want to offer a special welcome and a thank you to our College of the Sequoias Board of Trustees who are all here today. So board members, thank you for coming by. We appreciate that very much. And one of the integral parts of our COS 2.0 systems operation, and something that we've grown very fond of in the last 2 years, is the opportunity to have an active and viable set of community volunteers who come in. They meet regularly as part of our community advisory committee. And we've also got volunteers who serve in other capacities, members of our executive board of the College of the Sequoias Foundation, and other advisory board members who were able to take a little bit of time and stop by today when we sent them the invitation. So for those of you who are here in our audience from our community advisory boards, we want to extend a special welcome and thank you for being here today as well. Okay, well, I'm sure that the news has leaked out by now, but we have good news to share with you today. It was 2 years ago now. It was February 11th, 2013 at 2:10 p.m. when we gathered in this very room and we talked about having received our action letter from the ACCJC. And for those of us who were here and remember that experience, it was quite a somber afternoon. We read at that time that based on the report submitted by our visiting team and the action and review by the commission, that College of the Sequoias had been placed on show cause. And there was a gasp in the room. And I think we worked really hard from that moment on to recognize that this college is incredibly important to our community, to our districts, and to our entire region. And those of us who were here then and who have been here and who have joined us, I think have all recognized that we pulled together in a way that can only be described now, I think, as pretty incredible. To reach common ground together and to be able to pull together a team of volunteers and to work over the course of that first 18 months to review all of the issues. Remember the Accreditation Response Task Force? It was like a year-long slumber party. Lots of long hours and evenings, broke up into subgroups, took the recommendations and each of the individual standards and began to work on them. But probably more importantly, from that group of people and from that opportunity to be involved, new leadership was cultivated. Strong leadership was developed. And veteran leadership came back into the process. And now those folks who were volunteering to be on a task force to work on this have become very important parts of leadership in other areas throughout the college, including academic senate, institutional planning and effectiveness, and a number of important governance structures in our system. So we're really excited now to have gone through that process and to be at the point where after the first year, we were able to successfully respond to that show cause report. And you'll recall that we were placed on warning just for 3 remaining items. And the only reason that we continued to be on warning was because we had not had a full year to reach closure on those items and to conclude those processes, to do the self-assessments and show that we were going to be committed to ongoing improvement. So when we submitted our report this past October, October of last fall now at this point. That was our primary purpose, was to show them the opportunity that we were taking to continue and to sustain that work. So I want to read just a couple excerpts from the actual letter so that you know why we're here today. The Accrediting Commission for the Community and Junior Colleges, Western Association of Schools and Colleges, at its meeting of January 7th through the 9th, 2015, reviewed the follow-up report submitted by College of the Sequoias, the report of the evaluation team that visited on Monday, October 27th, 2014, and the presentation that was made by the college representatives when we actually appeared. And the commission has acted to remove warning and reaffirm full accreditation. I think a couple of noteworthy lines as we go forward. Based on the evidence in the college report and the team report, the commission found that College of the Sequoias had successfully and fully addressed the 2013 recommendation number 1 and remaining issues in the 2012 recommendations 3 and 7. Additionally, the follow-up report submitted in October 2014 will become part of the official accreditation history of the college. The commission also does require that that follow-up report and this commission action letter be made available to students and the public by placing a copy on our college website, which will be there this afternoon. And then finally, it says here, College of the Sequoias must demonstrate to the commission that at the time of the midterm report, which is coming up now, that the recent changes implemented to resolve these deficiencies and meet the eligibility requirements and standards will be sustained. So we know now that we've got an ongoing commitment to COS 2.0, and that'll be a really important part of our future. And this is probably my favorite paragraph, but it says here, on behalf of the commission, this is from comment from Dr. Bino herself, I wish to express continuing support for the College of the Sequoias' educational quality and students' success. The commission offers you our heartfelt congratulations to the College of the Sequoias for considerable work that it has completed since the fall of 2012 to correct the deficiencies and come into compliance with numerous eligibility requirements and accreditation standards. So I can't thank you all enough for the work that we did to pull together to achieve this. We've been cautiously optimistic throughout this process. I think those of us who went just last month, last month now in January, to actually appear before the commission, Board President Cardoza, Academic Senate President Dr. Trimble, our Vice President of Academic Services, Dr. Lacerna, and myself, we sat before the commission and we gave them our 5 minutes of commentary regarding our work. We all felt very confident by the nods of their heads, the smiles on their faces, and the lack of follow-up questions. But it's kind of that old saying, you never know till you get it in writing. And so having it today now really helps us celebrate the completion of the important work that we've done. So in that spirit, I want to give those individuals an opportunity each to briefly address you, and we're going to start with some words from our president of the College of the Sequoias Board of Trustees, Lori Cardoza. Lori?
Hello, everybody. I probably should have prepared some comments because I didn't realize I was going to feel this way. My heart's beating a little fast, and I'm excited to be here. I can honestly say when we were here in this room that day, it really did kind of feel like a funeral. The day we got put on show cause, I could feel the somberness in the room, the sadness in the room. But I can honestly say that I left here that day, sitting in this room as a student, and then sitting in this room numerous times as a board member, and some not so good times at the college when we needed this space to fill up all the people that were coming to our board meetings. We've been through some ups and downs with economics, with just leadership, and we all know that. But when I left here that day, I could honestly say that I had no doubt in my mind that as a college we would get through this. I knew the faculty, I knew we had great staff that really would step up because they truly love the college. But what I didn't realize is that we would get through this process with such passion, enthusiasm, and truly coming together, not just to make sure we got through accreditation, but that we truly made a team that would work to better the lives of students in terms of quickly, and that we could move on and get past this to really do what we were supposed to. So on behalf of every single one of my board members who, I know we weren't in the trenches with all of you, but we were on the sidelines cheering you on all the way, and I hope you felt that. We supported you throughout, but we know it took hours and hours of work. We know that some of you put your heart and soul into this, and I just, on behalf of our board, want to say thank you. And it's a good day, and now we can move on to do more for students and continue to do the work that, that's been set before us. So thank you again.
She understated the role of the board just a little bit. They did cheer us on, but they also participated. They came to summits, they came to workshops, they re-engaged themselves in accreditation training from the ACCJC, and they made important changes in policy and administrative procedures that clarified roles and responsibilities that we're going to live by for a long time to come now. So structurally, we needed them to do that work to give us the framework to move as quickly as we have. Next, I'd like to invite Dr. Lacerna to the microphone, our Vice President of Academic Services and also our Accreditation Liaison Officer.
I'm like Lori, I should have written some things down because I'm a little bit nervous, but it's happy nerves. So you guys have seen me crying too many times in this room, starting with 2 years ago today, or 2 years ago the 11th. But this time it's happy smiles. There's a couple people I wanted to thank personally, and I would like the members of the Accreditation Response Task Force to please stand up and be recognized. If all of you could stand, because I know a lot of you are in here, and thank this group for their leadership. It was a 45-member group that met on a weekly basis, and they included students, some of who have graduated and gone on, and I just really, their work that they did was amazing and helped get through this past 2 years and make the changes and the successes that we've had. The other group is our editing team, so if the members of the editing team could please stand. And what you can't see in this room, but I know standing in Hanford is Dr. Kristen Robinson, who was a member of the editing team, and then standing in Tulare is Mr. Matt Beret, who is another member of the editing team, and they're in Hanford and Tulare. So thanks, Kristen and Matt, as well. And then in my communications with the commission, I know that there's been a lot of bad publicity for the accrediting commission over the past couple of years. Our experience was very positive with them. Dr. Bino met with Stan and I on a weekly basis from the start of the show cause sanctions. Dr. Clifford and Mr. Jack Pond were in constant communication with us, helping us every step of the way, and I really want to thank them. And one of our favorite stories from the editing team is we were in the dark, smoky-filled room of the PCR at 10 o'clock one night, and we thought, oh my gosh, are we supposed to do the report this way or this way? And I called Susan Clifford on her cell phone, and she answered and said, I'm on the tarmac getting ready to leave on a plane. I will call you as soon as we land. And she did. They landed, and before she even checked into her hotel, she was calling us back and giving us some guidance for a turning point in one of the steps of the project we were doing. So they've been really instrumental. And in that communication, Dr. Bino herself, well, all of the commissioners have just said we really need to thank all of you, the entire COS staff, the Accreditation Advisory Committee, the Community Advisory Committee, and our board members, our faculty, our academic senate. Everybody took part in this, and so we all owe ourselves a big round of applause because it's every single one of us who made this change, so thank you to everybody. And it's funny because a lot of our facility staff would be coming into the PCR and seeing the group of us that were there at 10 o'clock at night and all day Saturday and all day Sunday working, and they just go, are you guys okay? And they'd stop me when they'd see me walking across campus and be like, how are you doing? So it was, that group of people and those that were here late at night, it was a really long time, but it was a really positive experience in the end for all of us. And I do want to say one of the first things that Superintendent Carasosa and I did, there was a group of us that went down to visit Cuesta College, and within the first couple of weeks of our show cause sanctions, and they told us that it was going to take 10 years off our life expectancy. And yeah, you guys have seen all the wrinkles. What they didn't tell us is that you gained 20 pounds doing it too. So all of the editing team has been on a diet for the past 6 months. I think we've probably gained a collective 120 pounds, and we've lost about 60 of it to this point. So just keep us motivated on our diet program. But from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank each and every one of you. I also want to thank the foundation for the celebration that they're going to have right now, but the foundation has been unbelievable through the whole process, every step of the way, supporting the things that we needed. The Community Advisory Committee, again, I mentioned our facilities staff, but they were, anything we needed. We need a room, we need a space, we need air, whatever, they were on it. And then also my staff, Conti and Annette and Linda and Pat and our president's staff, Megan and Karen, were just incredible, and Conti and Dustin and the group that did the got the evidence together, they've just been nonstop working, so I want to definitely thank all of them as well. Thank you. And I'll wrap up my comments just by saying, when you say the accreditation liaison officer, it can be kind of sound scary, because that responsibility is making sure that we are accredited and that we have all our reports done and we have all those things. But at College of the Sequoias, it is not a lonely position. It is a shared position by everybody in this room, everybody watching in Tulare and Hanford, and those watching elsewhere. It has been a very supported position for me, and I know that support will continue because accreditation doesn't end. We keep on going. So thank you, everybody. Congratulations.
Okay, and last but certainly not least, the current president of our academic senate, and many of you know that we needed our academic faculty and our classified staff to pull together with us. Both did that wonderfully in many ways. But Dr. Trimble in particular stepped forward, and remember initially didn't run to be elected to the academic senate president role. She was asked, would you accept an appointment to the role? And she did it knowing that she was going to be appointed president of academic senate just after the college had been placed on show cause. And at that time, having been the only faculty member or staff member in our district who had actually attended a visiting team to be on another accreditation, she knew exactly what she was getting into. And we're very, very fortunate that she agreed to do that. And of course, subsequent to that, now she's been reelected as the president of our academic senate. So it's really an honor for me to introduce Dr. Trimble.
Thank you, Stan. That comes under the heading of what was I thinking. I think that every single member of this college needs to feel the pride that I know the RTF feels, because it isn't just the RTF. It was every member of this college. And we didn't always agree with what we were going to be doing, but we worked it out, and we now have systems. We have systems in place that we can hold ourselves accountable with. Systems that going forward, if it doesn't work, we can change it. Yes, they're written down, but we can change it. One of the things I think that I'm most proud of is the fact that we were able to build these systems, because it's those systems going forward that will mean we will never be here again having to move that arrow. It will stay up at the top. And none of us could have done it without everybody else. And I think that even though there are times we don't get along and there's times we don't agree, we can all agree that this college is important. It's important to us personally, it's important to our community, and we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to make it as good as it possibly can be. And I really personally want to thank the faculty, because a lot of what had to get done around the learning outcomes and the assessments It took a lot of work in a very short period of time for the faculty to get all their assessments together, get them up on the web, and get that done. And you did it in a really short amount of time, and you have every right to be very proud of that work. So Stan, I think it's time.
Okay. I just want to close very quickly by echoing what Dr. Trimble just shared. And I couldn't have said it any better, but I think the thing that I personally feel most proud of as well is the fact that we took this opportunity not only to improve and get better, but to build systems that have changed the college's culture. When she said a moment ago that there was a way of operation that we had in the past and we're never going back there again, she took the words right out of my mouth. And I think that's the mark of a great institution, is that we're committed to ongoing and continuous improvement, and we've got systems in place to do that now. But one of the exciting things about adopting our technology metaphor and the COS version 2.0 is you don't ever see anybody getting in line to go back and get an iPhone 3. You know, there's no looking back once you've made a commitment to that ongoing improvement. So systems are there now, structures are there now, they're open, they're transparent, they involve us. And as she said, they're built to try to accommodate disagreement and, to the best of our ability, reach mutual agreement and then move forward. That's the commitment we have to our students, to our community, and to our region. So I've asked Dr. Trimble to join me in the ceremonial act now of actually move. We want to refresh your memory that when we were here a year ago, February, we were here. And at that time, by the way, I got to thank Graphics Design for putting together the cool little slider board for us. Thank you, Dave. And Dr. Trimble took the opportunity to make the biggest chunk of movement that we could make at that time, which was to get that arrow from show cause to warning. So today, it's going to be that final little bit. It's the frosting on the cake, the bow on the box. But we're going to ask Dr. Trimble to join us in making the final movement from warning to reaffirmed accreditation. And there it is. As Lori said, this room's been filled before. Not often has it been filled with people standing and not throwing something at us. So we're kind of happy today to have this moment with all of you. We'd like to, again, thank all of you for your time today. Hanford and Tulare, thank you so much if you're there and you've taken the time to join in this with us. The 3-campus college system is now alive and well, and accreditation has made us stronger across the entire district. We have the opportunity now to enjoy the remainder of our 3 years of normal accreditation cycle. And again, I think as Jennifer said, accreditation isn't a lonely process anymore. And at College of the Sequoias, it's no longer a single event. It's kind of our institutional way of life. And so we feel like we've got good systems in place to continue to assure that that arrow always stays at the top. So again, I'd like to thank you so much. And we do have a small celebration planned. So if you have a little bit of time to mingle, thank you to the College of the Sequoias Foundation, who's set up some cookies and punch outside. And even if you don't like cookies, you got to go get one of these because they were custom made for this occasion. I think if you spray one with lacquer, it could be a keepsake, you know. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.